Tito Jeff here, Omak City, Leyte, the Philippines. And today I'm going to talk about budgeting. I've done this before. I can't remember what I said in the last video, but it's changed probably a lot since then because we have a son now, and we also have some income on, he gets a Social Security benefit. So budgeting here depends on how much money you have available. If you have just a basic Social Security, if you took early retirement, you're going to have less. If you have a military pension in addition to that, things like that. So how much money do you have? And what kind of lifestyle do you want? And there are going to be unexpected expenses. So those three things I'm going to talk about today. So I took early retirement, age 62. My pension is approximately $1,500 a month. And before we had JJ, Marcel and I could live on that pretty good. We usually went over a little bit every month, but I had some savings, and I had planned on I had planned on adding to my budget with my savings. So you need some savings when you come here. You can't just come here and live on your Social Security. You know, if you've got enough money to buy a ticket and fare to get to the island you're going to go to, and you don't have any more money after that, you're gonna wish you hadn't come, I think, because you need some money for unexpected expenses. For instance, I have an IRA, and I have enough money that I just use that for medical expenses only. And I'm planning on being alive for another 20 years. So I have enough money in that fund to last me 20 years if I spent about 300,000 pesos a year. And that would be quite a bit. That would be a lot of hospitalization. And I don't expect to have that much. So that's what you need. Now, if you're going to come here by yourself and not have a girlfriend, not have a wife, you're just going to come here and hang out, you could get by on about 75,000 pesos a month, which would be about $1,300 a month, including about $200 a month for travel, just to travel around the islands a little bit. So you could do that. But I think that's about the bare minimum. For us, for two people, it was $1,500. Now it's gone up. Our budget now with JJ, and we've got another child on the way, is $2,280 a month. And we have enough money from, JJ receives a dependent benefit from Social Security, and it covers his expenses. And we have some left over for savings. When the second child arrives in September, we will also have to get her birth certificate, apply for citizenship, and also at the same time apply for Social Security benefit for her. Two children, I'll have enough money from both children will receive a benefit. And that's about the limit of what I can get here. You can receive up to 180% of your full benefit in benefits. And after that, if you have more children, they also can receive a benefit, but it will be reduced. All of your children will receive a reduced benefit. So our lifestyle here, what's our lifestyle? Well, we don't do much. We eat out. We don't go to bars. We don't drink alcohol. We don't have a lot of parties here at the house. Occasionally we have a family party. We'll buy a pig and roast it for, say, Maricel's birthday or Christmas time, maybe 3 or 4 times a year. And that could cost us anywhere from 15,000 to 20,000 pesos. We buy the pig, we buy some other groceries and drinks and things and invite the family here. And they're kind of far away, so we pay for their transportation here and back. So eating out, we budget about 10,000 pesos a month, which is on about less than $200 a month. For Mother's Day, for example, Mother's Day, I took Maricel to Sabin Resort Hotel for lunch, including my mother-in-law and JJ. The total cost, the bill, was 2,200 pesos, which is about $39 for 3 people and a baby, including a little cake. I bought her a little cake about 8 inches across, an ube cake. It was delicious. And we're going to get one for tomorrow. Tomorrow is our anniversary. So you can see you can have, and that was a nice meal. We had food left over that we brought home. You can eat out pretty cheap here. So you can go to a Carindaria, and they'll have dishes that are cooked and in pots. Maybe they're warm, maybe they're not. So if they're not, bring them home and stick them in the microwave and warm them up. But for instance, last week we had dinner we bought 3 dishes, and they're not very big. Maybe a cup, 1 cup full of some dish, and I had 3 of them. It cost 120 pesos. Plus we had rice at home. So that's about $2 for eating out. And it was good, and it wasn't too much. And I don't need to eat too much anyhow because I'm trying to lose weight. McDonald's for the 3 of us. We spend about 680 pesos, which is about $12 for 3 people. Now, I say 3 people. JJ eats French fries. So my mom and I, we'll get hamburgers and fries and sometimes soft drinks or apple pie. We don't, like I said, we don't drink. We don't go to bars, so we're not spending money that way. If you're going to come here and party, it's up to you, but it's going to cost you money. So going to the grocery store is a major expense for us. For instance, I like to drink milk. I've always been a milk drinker. I don't really want to give it up. And it's expensive here in the Philippines. I'm distracted. I'm looking at a guy out at my gate. Anyhow, you buy it in liter boxes. It's buy 2 boxes for 210 pesos, and amounts to about $7 a gallon for milk here in the Philippines. That's expensive, and I like that, and I'm willing to pay for it. I don't need steaks here in the Philippines. You can't get them at our grocery store. It's just not available. They don't have ribeyes and T-bones and sirloin steaks and things like that. They have something, they call it sirloin. I don't know what it is. But you can go to a store here called Belcris, and they specialize, it's just a meat shop, and they have ribeyes, and it costs about 3,200 pesos per kilogram, which amounts to $25 a pound. Ain't eating no steak. I did it one time just so Marcel could have a steak, and it was good, but I don't do that. Pork is about $3 a pound. Chicken, $2 a pound. Eggs, we buy a tray of 30 eggs for about $4.73. 30 eggs, which is 16 cents an egg, or 9 pesos an egg. Now they come not washed like you get in America. So the ones in America, you got to put them in the refrigerator. Here, you can leave them out on the counter because they're not washed, and they have a coating that comes on the egg provided by the chicken, and it protects them from that. I bought a 1.5 liter Coke Zero for $1.20. Glad Cling Wrap, $2.47. Cereal, Cocoa Crunch, which I think is a Milo Filipino brand, $3.50 for a pretty good sized box of cereal. I got a Diet A&W root beer the other day, but it's like $1.07 a can. Coke Light, 500 milliliter bottle, it's about 65 cents a bottle. And that's with the screw top, and you can close that up and reuse it. Syrup, about 20 ounces, 16 or 20 ounces, I can't remember. $1.56. Now, I've learned to make my own, and it costs me about 65 cents. And it's better, I think. I bought some Sweet Baby Ray's last Saturday. It was available at the grocery store, so I bought it. Hadn't had it in a long time. $4.89 a bottle. I don't know what it is in America. It's probably not much different. Skippy Peanut Butter is the brand I buy. 16-ounce jar costs $4. They have Jif, and it's a little more expensive. I think probably about $5 a jar. I can't remember. So they also have some Filipino brands. They're not as good. They're sweeter. They're not as thick. So I don't buy them. So at the market, at the Mercado, you can get jumbo shrimp. And I'm talking about some big shrimp for 380 pesos a kilo, which amounts to $3 a pound. Tuna, yellowfin tuna, $2.80 a kilo, which is about $2.23 a pound. So if you love fish, You're coming to the right place, and it's cheap. For us, not for the Filipinos. Gasoline, it's about $3.80 a gallon here in Ormoc City. And like I said, you're going to have some unexpected expenses. Glasses. I bought some glasses since I've been here. Now the last trip I made to the optometrist, I bought glasses for my mother-in-law. She already had a prescription because she lost her glasses. And I bought a pair of glasses for my wife. She got excited and she wanted some. She had an exam. Her eyes were okay, but she needs some reading glasses. She never wears them, so I ain't buying any more for a while. Then I had to have a pair for myself, and I wear bifocals. The total cost for those 3 pairs of glasses, including the exam, well, my mother-in-law didn't need an exam. The total cost was about 30,000 pesos, and I can't remember how much that is. It's about $600, less than $600, maybe $500 to $550. So not too bad. Hospital. If you have to go to the hospital, just a plain room with aircon. With aircon is 1,600 pesos a night. That's about $28 a day. I was in semi-intensive care, and this had a heart monitor that goes beep, beep, like that. $38 a night. Intensive care, I don't know, but I probably guess about $50 a night. I went to Cebu City for an angioplasty. An angioplasty is where they go in through a vein and squirt some dye into your heart and take a picture of it. And I also had to have an aortogram while I was there and a sonogram of my heart. And that was total of about $1,400, and that was 4 days in the hospital. And I've talked about that before. I won't go into the details on that. I go see my cardiologist just for an office visit. It's $10.53 per visit. I'm going to the dentist Wednesday. First time, 3 years. I haven't been to the dentist since I've been here. I checked on that. It's $500 for the 500 pesos for the exam. If I need an X-ray, it's going to be 600 pesos. And I think my wife had to have a filling once, and it was about 500 pesos. So about $10 for each thing. So you're going to also wind up paying some immigration fees while you're here, buying load for your phone. I spend about $15, $20 a month on phone expenses. You're going to help your family here. If you're married, your wife expects you to help her family. And I do too. If you're married to somebody, that's part of your family now, and you need to help them out. Now, there's a limit to how much you can help. Your wife and your children come first, your family second, and only if you can. And my wife is good at telling the family, no, we can't help you. But I enjoy helping my family. Travel. You can get a motel room here for as little as $12. A bed with aircon and maybe no swimming pool or anything, but if you can travel cheap, that's fine. It's going to be a foam pad bed, a little bitty pillow probably. But you can go to what I would consider the beginning of luxury hotels for about 4,000 pesos a night, which is about $70. So that would include a swimming pool, a nice restaurant in the hotel, room service, things like that. Our cable and Wi-Fi cost us about $26 a month. Now, it's not the best quality. I'll have to tell you that. My prescriptions, I take blood pressure medicine. I take an inhaler for COPD. I also take an doxycycline or something like that for my lungs. I take some iron, vitamin D, magnesium oxide, some calcium, things like that. I just got that down. I got it down to 15,000 pesos a month, 263, by going to a generic store that sells generic drugs. Now, some of my drugs when I first came here were not available as generic, like my blood thinner, Eliquis. But now it is. So that's what you got to think about when you come here. Your lifestyle, what are you going to live like? If you want to go to bars, if you want to go to Boracay, travel every month, it's going to be at least 25,000 pesos to take a trip. to go somewhere nice and spend 2 or 3 nights in a hotel and eating out, things like that. But if you want to come here and live, you can live for 100,000 pesos a month. We could do it for that, but we spend about 130,000 pesos a month, which is about $2,280 a month. And we have a very comfortable life here, I would say. I'm retired. I don't have to work. I eat 3 meals a day. I cook my own breakfast. I have a housekeeper. She cooks our lunch. We have leftovers for supper sometimes. That's another part of our budget is a housekeeper. It's about 6,500 pesos a month. Plus, on December, we give her an extra month's pay and little things like that. And it's my sister-in-law, so we also help her out in some other ways. Now, having said all that, your budget's going to go up and down. It's not going to be a fixed rate. One of the ways we help our budget is we use envelopes. I don't have one here in front of me. You ever heard of Dave Ramsey in America? One of the ways he suggests controlling your budget is to put cash in envelopes. So I'll make a cash envelope for my cable and Wi-Fi because they don't take a card. I have to go to the office and pay. I might be able to pay online with GCash, but I haven't gotten into GCash yet. I put some money in an envelope for going to the market to buy groceries. At the supermarket, I just use my card. I put some money in an envelope we pay the basura guys, the trash men. It's a free service, but we give them a tip. So I put envelopes for things that I'm going to use for cash. Some things I pay with a card, and some things are in my budget that I'm not actually paying for right now, but I'm letting it build up in an account. For instance, I budget for my son. We have purchased an endowment for him, and in 20 years, 19 years now, he will receive a lump sum of 1.5 million pesos. And before that, starting within 7 years, 6 years now, he will start receiving 50,000 pesos a year. And we can use that for his school. That'll be great. So it pays off. I calculated it out, and I forget the percent return. It's about 8% return on our little investment for JJ. And we're going to do the same thing for our daughter. So I don't spend, and I don't put that in an envelope. I don't take it out of the account. I don't pay monthly. I can only pay once a year. So I just leave it in the account and let it build up and don't touch that money. That's budgeting for us here in the Philippines. That's my experience. You'll have to figure it out for yourself when you come here. But know what you're going to have at least, I would say, $1,500 a month to live here, plus some savings. You need some savings. Tito Jeff here, Ormoc City, Leyte, the Philippines.